Good morning, everyone. Hello. Shay Raquel Black in the Shek, Kian in the Shle, Sanjukine Basichin, Ashine Dasiche Ado, Torchini Dashinale. I am a member of the Navajo Nation from Shanto, Arizona. I am also the co-working manager here at Change Labs. Thank you for taking the time to be with us today. First off, I'd like to give a brief introduction to Change Labs for those of you who aren't already familiar with our organization. Officially, Change Labs is a Native-led and Native-controlled nonprofit organization based on the Navajo and Hopi nations. Here at Change Labs, our goal is to provide creative workspace tools, resources, knowledge, and for Native entrepreneurs. How we accomplish those goals and mission is through our different programs. We have a co-working program, our business incubator, and our kinship lending program at the moment. And then we have a few others coming into the works. Here are the different programs that Change Labs currently has. We have the co-working, business incubator, and kinship lending, and a new program coming soon. And then here we have our mighty team that helped make Change Labs the great organization that it is today. We have Cecilia on the line here with us today. She's the director of our incubator. Then we have Christine, who's the director of our kinship lending program. And both of those great ladies work with Holly and Sorvosky. We have Heather Fleming, our executive director, Jessica Stago, and our co-founder and program director as well. We have our finance director, Marsha Greyeyes, the most important person on our team. And then we have a couple of our really great coaches. We have Joe Elliott Nez and Tim Deal. And then also, I don't have Leon picture on here. We have Leon Begay on our team as well. To talk about the co-working program, construction is currently underway on our new headquarters, which will be located right next to Tuba City chapter on Main Street. For those of you who are not familiar with what a co-working space is, it is a community space for business owners and entrepreneurs to use to help operate and manage your business. This space in particular will serve our Native entrepreneurs and small business owners, especially those based on the Navajo and Hopi nations in the Four Corners area. So later this year, we will have a brand new co-working space available for you to use. And for some of the services, we'll be able to offer some tools that could be really useful to your business. Tools such as desk-based, Wi-Fi access, color printing, in-person coaching sessions, and a lot more. We do plan to bring back monthly in-person coaching and trainings for those who are interested, and our list of co-working services is constantly being updated as far as how we want to support our local entrepreneurs and business owners there at the new headquarters. And we're always open to new ideas on how we can better service our communities. So if you have an idea on how this co-working space can benefit your business, feel free to let us know. We're really excited to bring this community space for everyone to help with building and growing your business. So please stay tuned for more information to come as our construction gets closer and closer to completion, which should be very, very soon, fingers crossed. We do have a link for RSVPs if you'd like information on the grand opening events that we have. So please visit our socials or our website and you'll find the link where you can submit your information there. Moving along. One of the most popular questions we get here at Change Labs is, how do I start a business? All of our programs and services here are designed to help Native entrepreneurs, our artisans, our local vendors, and those we like to call change makers, because that's what our local business owners and entrepreneurs are. You're change makers. If you're a Native entrepreneur or a small business owner yourself, please know that you're absolutely crucial to our local economies. And Change Labs is here to help you both start up and strengthen your businesses. Now for a brief overview of the incubator, it is one of the only Native-led business incubators for Native entrepreneurs in this country, and we're located right here on the Navajo Nation on the border of Hopi Nation. This program is led by our Director of Business Incubation, Cecilia So. And starting this year, it is a 6-month program for Native entrepreneurs who want support and training on how to start and operate your business. If you're interested and would like assistance with things like your logo, your website design, or how to set up and maintain your bookkeeping and finances, please feel free to visit our website here for more information at nativestartup.org/incubator. And then next is another question that we get often: how do I get help running my business? There are so many aspects to being an entrepreneur, and the answer or solution that you're searching for may not always be obvious, and it's okay to ask for help. Here at Change Labs, one of our driving factors is kinship. Building relationships among our communities and our members and our nations, and how Change Labs can help there is through our business coaching appointments. We offer free virtual 90-minute appointments with any of our business coaches. Our coaches are available on Mondays from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m., and they each have their own area of expertise depending on the kind of support you're looking for. We have a team of very, very bright and eager coaches, and they are each incredibly knowledgeable in each of their specialties and will be able to assist you where you're needing help with your business or your business idea. The coaches are able to assist you in areas from marketing to accounting and bookkeeping systems, or if you're just starting out with an idea, they can assist you with creating your business model or navigating the Navajo Nation systems for things such as your business site lease or registering with the Navajo Nation Business Regulatory. This coming Monday, available coaching sessions. I believe we have Cecilia. If you want to book a session with Cecilia, she'll be able to help you with things like coming up with ideas for your marketing, or maybe you're looking to complete your business model canvas or business idea. You need to help strengthen your current business idea, your current business. Cecilia can help you out in those areas. So please visit our page here at native.up.org/events and look for Cecilia or any of our other Monday coaching appointments that are available. We have Coach Jessica, we have Coach Christine, Coach Marcia, and they're all really, really great at providing guidance for answers that you're needing with. Another common question we get here at Change Labs is, how do I create a website? Until Change Labs can go back to hosting open studio hours at our headquarters in Tuba City, I will refer you to our YouTube channel. We currently have over 50 recorded sessions and discussions, each designed for Native business owners and all led by other Native entrepreneurs and creatives. Our workshops have covered topics like social media marketing, website design, doing business on the Navajo Nation, and a lot more. It's a really great growing archive of shared knowledge from other Natives who really just want to see our Native people thrive and their businesses as well. To access any of our past sessions and our listings of resources such as grants and other informational events, I'll refer you to our link here, native.up.org/resources. And we update this page pretty regularly, so please be sure to check in every now and then for upcoming opportunities. Another great resource we have to offer are our social media platforms. We're on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter, and I recommend you check those pages out for regular postings and updates as well. Change Labs likes to share posts from many of our partners and others in our network for great opportunities and resources that we think could be useful to our Native creatives, our business owners, and entrepreneurs. And lastly, there is a whole spectrum of who are considered Native entrepreneurs, and here at Change Labs, we have been curating our own list of them. If you're in the market for finding other Native service providers who can help you with your business, we currently have over 600 Native-owned businesses listed in here, and that we think are really, really great resources as well for helping to start up and run your business. Or maybe you're just searching for some Native-made products. Please visit the site here, resrising.org. And if you're a Native business owner or entrepreneur yourself, and you have services or products that you'd like to promote, feel free to add yourself to the listing. It's free and it's a pretty simple process. So if you have any questions at all about Change Labs, or if you're interested in any of our services or would like to know where to start, please feel free to email me. My email is here, Raquel@nativestartup.org, or you can visit Change Labs website at nativestartup.org. And then now, before we get started with our guest speaker today, I want to touch on our workshop etiquette and how we can be respectful of our guest time today. We do ask that you stay on mute during your presentation unless you're called upon, but please feel free to populate the chat box with your questions. When it comes time to question, feel free to raise your virtual hand as well. And we'll make sure to get to each of your questions by the end of our session today. And then a reminder, our session is being recorded and will be available on Change Lab's YouTube channel later this week. Okay, introducing our guest for today, we have Jeremy Arviso. I'm especially excited for this one. Jeremy is born and raised in Phoenix, Arizona. He's an enrolled member of Navajo, and he's also Hopi, Pima, and Tohono O'odham. Design is in his blood, he says, and art is his therapy, and life is what he cherishes. So thank you so much for being here with us, Jeremy. I will turn the time over to you.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for attending. Thank you, Change Labs, for reaching out and asking me to, do this for you guys. It's an honor, and I appreciate the opportunity for sure. I've been a graphic designer and multimedia artist for over 25 years now. My path has led me, through a lot of ups and downs, all over the country and the world as well. It's been my pleasure to bring Southwestern native design and art to everywhere I go, and that I take whatever I see and experience out in the world and bring it back here too. And it's something that's enriched my life and made me the person I am today. It's one of the reasons why I work in tourism is because I love to travel, and I've been traveling for pretty much most of my life. Been very fortunate to have seen places that I've only dreamed of, and a lot of that you can see in my work. And I'm really excited to be here today. So thanks you all for having me. I'm going to go ahead and get started. The name of this presentation is What is Brand Identity? It can be a little confusing sometimes about exactly what brand identity is. Some people have misconceptions exactly what it is. Like I'm wearing the North Face, and I'm wearing Nike, N7. It's like which one's the brand? Which one is the identity? It can get confusing. So we're gonna get through that today, and I'm gonna explain just exactly what advertising, marketing, branding is to give you a little bit more knowledge to help you with your own business. So I'm going to share my screen now, and we'll go ahead and get started. A slide deck that I prepared for today. What is brand identity? By Jeremy Arviso. In the background, I've got some of the watch bands that I created 2 years ago, this spring, actually. So I release these watch bands by season. So every season I do a new design, and they come in new colorways. And it seems every season the manufacturers of these watch bands make improvements, small improvements, new colors, new material. So I've got to, change with that as well. And every season I find a name and a color. So the colors are named by the season, depending on what colors are around, during spring, summer, fall, and winter. It's a way that I've created, a brand for myself and what I'm known for. So I felt that this was a great slide to begin with. You can see both of my logos on right where the bezel connects. Those would be, trademarks. And those are the two logos that I'm known by. One of them is my sun design, and it includes the Dene, Hopi, Pima, Tono Autumn motifs and designs inside a sun. On the other side is just my Arviso tag. RVSO is what I've been using for many years now. And I like to use those on the sides of the bands, like how jewelers will stamp their jewelry as well. And that's what the inspiration from that comes from. About Arviso 78. Arviso 78 is my LLC. It was really difficult trying to figure out how I wanted to register myself as an LLC. Did I want to use my name? Did I want to use my clothing company? Did I want to use, there was just so many options. I couldn't really pick one. So what I always wanted to use RVSO. It's something that my family has used before I was even born, as a way to identify themselves. And I wanted to use that. And 78 is the year I was born. So Arviso 78. Design is in my blood. Art is my therapy. Life is what I cherish. What that is my design in my blood comes from my father's side. My grandmother, Asane, she is a rug weaver and used to be a silversmith. And before I should have did this from the beginning, but I'm Jeremy Donovan Arviso. I'm Dene, Hopi, Pima, and Tono Autumn. I'm born and raised in Phoenix, Arizona. I am Salt Clan, born for where the water flows together, and Red House Clan. I was born and raised here in Phoenix, and I was raised all over the Southwest. It's been a really crazy ride, to say the least, and that's why art is my therapy. Art for me has literally saved me in many instances of my life as an outlet for expression and not only expression, but also as a means to make a living. It's taken me quite some time to figure it out. It's not something that just happens overnight. Anybody who says that is definitely lying. Uh, Life is what I cherish. Life is what makes me happy. Life is what makes my art, interesting for people, and why people buy it and why people buy my brand. I have spent the last 25 years building my brand, and it has literally taken 25 years to get to where I'm at now today. I've established my name as a brand, and it's got me in front of y'all today. So thank you guys for chiming in today. It means a lot. I'm a designer and multimedia artist from Phoenix, Arizona. I'm the marketing director for Adventurous Antelope Canyon Tours. We do quality customer service driven based tours in the upper Antelope Canyon. We also have two side canyons called Rattlesnake Canyon and Owl Canyon. I secured a spot for us last year with the NFL, and they came into Rattlesnake Canyon to take photos of the trophy, the football, and a couple other objects that they used for all of the decor that was all over the city for this year's Super Bowl. And right now, as we speak, the BBC studios in London is up there in Rattlesnake Canyon, Owl Canyon, and Mountain Sheep Canyon to shoot another drone, videography shoot for what's going to be called the Americas. It's a joint venture between BBC Studios London and NBC Universal. I made sure that we were, inside that loop, and got us in a sweet spot to be in that shoot. This is all part of just knowing, branding, marketing, and advertising, and getting into, when you see an opportunity and you take it, and bringing our brand in with the BBC Studios London and NBC Universal. So they'll be shooting today and tomorrow in the upper Antelope Canyon area. That required a lot of tact, getting involved with Navajo Nation Parks and Rec, getting involved with the Navajo Nation Tourism Department, going all the way up to the office of the Navajo Nation. It's quite a skill that nobody really teaches you, so you have to just learn it on your own. I'm the owner of the Original Landlord's clothing brand. It's a brand that I started 2 years ago during the pandemic. Was at home, unemployed, trying to figure out a way to make money. My story actually starts, my success story starts the day that I got out of prison. My past has been one riddled with ups and downs that include, alcohol abuse, drug abuse, a lot of stints in jail. It's not always been pretty, and these are all lessons that I've learned that have made my art and design the way it is. Coming from a background of generational trauma, is something that a lot of our people deal with, and one of the things that a lot of our people tend to move toward is drugs and alcohol. It's readily available, it's easy to get, and it's pretty cheap. And honestly, factually as well, it's cheaper than therapy. It's cheaper than a lot of, services that there aren't any services really, to be honest, that will help anybody with those types of problems, dealing with generational trauma and some of the stuff that we as Native Americans deal with daily. Anyways, I got a DUI that caught up with me, and I had to go and do 4 months in prison. It changed my life. While in prison, I made the decision that when I went in, I was going to just quit everything, and that when I got out, I would continue that path. I had made this plan going in. While I was in prison, wrote out my plan literally every single day. I went back to the basics: a pencil, a pen, paper, and just drew every single day. I wrote letters. I must have written 100 letters. I read 35 books. The biggest and my most favorite one being the Count of Monte Cristo, which is bigger than the Bible. It's massive. Took me 3 weeks to read, and just amazing. It saved me, and it is about a man in prison too. And he escapes, and does wonderful things with his life. I really saw a lot of that in myself, and I kept that mind frame when I came out. When I got out, I didn't have anything. I luckily, had my home. I was able to. My friends and family were able to, keep it afloat for me, and my rent was paid while I was gone from savings I had, and people were, chipping in to help out and make sure that I didn't lose it, because that's all I had. I lost the relationship with my son, family members, and that really, really did something to me. While inside, I also, in the most unlikely of places, found myself spiritually through a circle of brothers that were in there. They're all native from all over the place too. Everyone's in there for the same thing, drugs and alcohol, driving under the influence, and these are very, very smart people, very talented people, just making the wrong decisions, and it's sad to hear everyone's stories. We would constantly every week have talking circle, and I actually was able to participate in the very last sweat lodge ceremony because COVID happened while I was in prison. George Floyd was murdered on TV while I was in prison. There was riots all over the city. The whole world was on lockdown. I watched the entire city turn upside down from a cell, and it was crazy. I really felt that being in there was probably the best place for me at that time, to focus on myself and get myself together. The world was going nuts anyways. There wasn't anything out there for me except for my son, waiting for me. Now, that's why I cherish life. And those experiences that brought me in there really changed me. When I came out, I had my plan. I stuck to it, and I've been sticking to it to this day. So, as a freelance creative consultant, which is my other job, that the original landlord's clothing brand is just a multiple stream of income for me. It's a fun project, a side project that I love doing. I've been doing fashion design for over 20 years now, and it's something I'll always do. Being a freelance creative consultant is something I've been doing for quite some time now. My skills and repertoire, I've definitely, went very high since becoming sober and getting my life together. I'm also a muralist, a painter, and a sign painter. And those are two jobs that really helped me when I got out of prison, because I didn't have a computer, I didn't have the internet, I didn't have much to start with. All I had was my hands and my mind. And I'm a father. I'm a father to an 11-year-old autistic son, and I love him very much. We spend a lot of time together. We travel together. We work together. We collaborate together. And we'll be doing a collaboration this year. I'm very, very proud of. Can't wait to share that with everybody. Anyway, that's a little bit about myself. Moving on, what people say, a lot of times I hear other people say, well, he gets all the jobs, why is Jeremy getting this, and why is Jeremy getting that? Well, the story I just told you is why. 3 years of sobriety. I just celebrated 3 years of sobriety on February 21st. 3 years free from drugs and alcohol. I also stopped eating meat, for some weird reason, and went completely plant-based. So it's been a year and a half. 10 years of professional design work, and that's working for very big clients, APS, Nike, the Phoenix Suns. There's a long list of clients that I've got that have established me to where I'm at today. 20 years of doing t-shirt graphics. I've had multiple clothing labels under my belt, and I've designed for multiple clothing labels. I've done hundreds of t-shirt graphics over the years and 25 years of mistakes. I've made so many mistakes over the years that all of that, all those mistakes have taught me something, so none of this was overnight. This is something that's been in the works for a very long time. And don't, be discouraged by, any of this, what I'm sharing with you guys, because I'm not saying you have to do what I go through, what I've gone through in order to be successful. I took the hard way and the long way. For some people, they could definitely get, establish themselves, much quicker if they choose the right path. Me, I chose the hard path. That's what makes me unique, though. I've got 150 completed projects, 55 happy clients, and I'm working on 15. I think I got 16 projects on deck right now as we speak. So the work is steady. I've gotten to the point where I can tell people no now. It's amazing. I get to pick and choose who I want to work with. And before, I was out there taking any job that somebody would give me, because when you're desperate and you're a freelancer and, you're an artist, it's really difficult to say no. Now I get to. It's an amazing feeling. I've worked very hard to be there. So we're going to talk about branding, branding versus marketing. I use this image right here because it's perfect. How branding versus marketing. But what I did with this ad is a blending of both. Now, what I was able to do is cross market not only my company, Arviso, my brand name, but I was able to bring in the company that I work for, Adventurous Antelope Canyon Tours, and I was able to market and advertise my booth number at last year's Santa Fe Indian Market. And I was able to shoot one of my products inside of our canyon, which is our other product. So this was like a triple whammy. And we broke into a whole new demographic, a whole new, reader, people who travel, people who have money, people who buy art are the people that we want to come to the canyon. These are new customers. So I saw something and I'm like, I presented it to my boss and they were like, go for it. So this is our ad. Now, branding versus marketing. Here is the difference. Branding is about making people feel something. Marketing is about making people do something. Branding is the activation of a brand strategy. We craft stories that connect to people's hearts. We design experiences that turn customers into fans. Marketing is to make sure the right people know about the brand and what we offer. Marketing speaks to the mind, branding speaks to the heart. That's a direct quote from Annalie Hansen. I credited her down there on the bottom. Make sure you always credit your sources. You can't take credit for everything. A lot of art and design that is out there right now has already been done. Trust me, I pilfer lots of design and art. I don't know anybody who doesn't. Just credit who you're taking it from. It's give props where props are due. That's one thing that I don't see a lot of these days, and you can get sued for it. So make sure you credit your sources. If you're going to be original, make sure you are original. If you're not, quote who you're taking from. So this is a great example of what branding is and what marketing is. What I design for Adventurous Antelope Canyon Tours are visual experiences of what it's like to go into the canyon. And what we've done with our marketing is that we've turned those experiences into customers. Those customers in turn become our fans. They love us, they refer us, they leave us reviews, and people hear about us by word of mouth. Now, what I do with my own brand and my own company is I do the same thing by creating products that are unique and attractive I am able to reach many different customers all over the country and world. People, are reaching out to me from all over, buying products and representing, tagging me in images on social media, and I'm creating customers, but they're also turning into fans, and it's an incredible experience, being able to do that with something that you create from your mind. Okay, moving on with branding, differences between a slogan and a tagline. Now, this image right here is one that I did for a up and coming brand that is coming from Navajo, and it's called Native Moto Tours. This is actually a program that I worked on Change Labs with, and I believe maybe some of you people that are on this uh, in on this today are going to be a part of their incubator program. Amazing program. I think it's the most unique, and it's something that's definitely needed across Indian country. And I'm glad that Change Labs is doing this. And I work with Cahokia, and we do similar work. We feel it's very important to give these types of opportunities to our to Indian country. We don't have these opportunities, and to have skilled people like us out here sharing this knowledge, it's a gift. Take advantage of it. So ride the res with Native Moto Tours. That's a tagline. Okay, slogans are specific to marketing, while taglines are specific to branding. Now think about this for a second. Just do it. Nike. Think different. Apple. The ultimate driving machine. BMW. Those are taglines you just know, like boom, they're in your head, you know who they are. Now, slogans can evolve into taglines. Taglines can't evolve into slogans. Nike's slogan is color your Air Max. Nike's tagline, just do it. Here's a little snippet on branding versus marketing. Slogans are temporary, taglines are permanent. Slogans are used to sell a product. Taglines are used to sell the brand. Slogans are slogans are longer, taglines are shorter. Slogans are created by the marketing team. Taglines are created by a brand strategist. But yeah, this is just a little quick, give you an idea of what slogans and taglines are. If you guys have any questions about that, it's right here. Okay, moving on to logos. Okay, so a logo is not a brand, and a brand is not an identity. A brand is not even a product. A brand is a person's gut feeling about a product or an organization. It's not what you say, it's what they say. Now, I'm using an image right here of a Nike Air Force One sneaker. I did this collaboration with Nike last month, and it dropped the week of the Super Bowl. They reached out to me to work on a collaboration called Nike by You, and it's a really unique and fun experience where they take over a store, and it's this group called 625 Industries based out of Brooklyn, New York. They've got a team of sneaker artists and aficionados that come with all this equipment. They don these really cool like doctor coats, and everyone's got really dope style, and they hired me to design a set of collateral that they were going to apply to apparel, sneakers, and it was pretty cool. And what I really dug about this project was that they didn't ask for like N7 stuff or anything native. They wanted me just to do my thing. So none of my designs were native at all, which for me was just like awesome. I don't want to be pigeonholed into just being that one native designer guy. You have to be able to do it all. For me, as a graffiti vandal, that's how I started off doing all of this is the study of letters, the alphabet.
I was one of those kids in Phoenix in the 90s, vandalizing the streets, vandalizing the railways, et cetera, et cetera. And I've just had a love affair with letters ever since and continue to this day and made a career out of it. I'm very proud of that and that I've, surpassed the criminal aspect of applying lettering to private property, et cetera. And just now I'm doing it for major corporations. It's bizarre. I did I did four shoes, four sneaker designs. I did a heel graphic and a swoosh design, and I did five t-shirt graphics. Now, a brand, the swoosh is not the brand. The swoosh is a logo. It's and a logo is not a brand. What a brand is it exists in the hearts and minds of the individuals, not by the company, but by the customers who draw that. They're no longer buying brands, they're joining brands. And is a logo a brand? This is not a brand. The swoosh is not a brand. This is a trademark. Okay, the swoosh is a trademark. The purpose behind trademarks is to allow companies to indicate the source of their goods or services and to distinguish them from others in the industry. Feeling. Customers buy products to build their identities. Customers want meaning. Customers want a sense of belonging. Logo. A logo is not a brand. It's only a symbol for the brand. A brand is much more than a logo. So I take these quotes from Marty Neumeier. He's got an amazing blog called The Brand Gap. And I also follow this particular guy down here, Chris Doe. I don't know. I'm not sure. He's Asian American, but that's his Instagram handle if you want to follow him. He's got amazing insight. He gives a lot of his knowledge out for free game. And that's what I'm going to adopt for my model because I feel it's a great way to share knowledge and gain more followers. I think that's what social media it means for a lot of people, is just getting more followers. For me, I just always wanted to just have a way to show my work, but I have a website for that. For me, I want to just share more work, share free stuff, and give out free game. People know how to get a hold of me if they want to work or collaborate. But this is just to give you an idea of what, that a logo is not a brand. Just because you're getting a logo, that doesn't mean you're getting, that's your brand. A brand is something you establish after you get your logo. Okay, graphic design is a very big part of all of what we're talking about today. Graphic design is very much misunderstood. It's the placement of shapes, circles, squares, triangles, and text, typography, and arranging them in images, arranging them into a way that you're able to, make visual communication. And what makes a great logo? A logo is not communication. A logo is identification. That's Saji Haviv. He's a very well-known graphic design guru, if you will. A great logo should be appropriate, distinctive, simple. Now, I use this image here on my slide deck because this is one that was commissioned by the Phoenix Suns here in my hometown. I've been a lifelong Phoenix Suns fan, and to be able to work with my home team was a great honor. I was flabbergasted when I was brought to the table and told I was able to do whatever I want. Their logo is very appropriate, very distinctive, and very simple. I took their logo and just added my own logo on top of it. So it's appropriate, it's distinctive, it's simple. It's the sun, it's a sun, it's a Southwestern sun design within the Phoenix Suns logo. I couldn't have chosen or picked a better way to interpret the Phoenix Suns. they loved it. The fans loved it. It's sold out. It's great design. Appropriate, visually connected, distinctive, designed to stand out from similar brands. Simple, visually efficient, recognized at a glance. Boom! You can just look at it and tell that's the Phoenix Suns. I used my trademark brush strokes. I used an iPad for this job, and those are all individual brush strokes that I used to create that effect. And it worked really well, looks really good. And I have lost my only t-shirt. I don't know where it's at. My son's probably got it. Moving on to freelance work. Freelance work is difficult, very difficult. Why do freelance creatives struggle to increase their rates? The answer is very simple. They don't think they are worth it. Simple as that. It's very hard to stand out in a sea of freelance creatives, very difficult. You have to do something out of pocket, something very, very unique, something that's going to catch people's eye. You have to have a niche, Now, one of the main reasons why people struggle with getting paid and increasing their rates is the fear of client rejection. Now, I'm using this background piece right here. This is a commission that APS commissioned me to do last year. This is a enamel coated metal sign it's porcelain enamel on top of a flexible metal water. So they use a water jet mixed with pretty much sand, and it's like at 6,000, the pressure per square inches or something like that, and it can cut metal like butter. So they got this porcelain enamel colors, and they apply it to this metal, and they cut it, and then they apply it to the wall. This sign welcomes people to Roosevelt Row, which is downtown Phoenix art district. It's vibrant, colorful, multicultural, very, very unique, and it's a destination when people come to Phoenix. It's been like the spot to come to for, I'd say, 15 years now, but in the last 5 years, it's been like a huge global destination for people to come. If they're coming to Phoenix, they're coming to Roosevelt Row. Now, Cahokia, we have established ourselves as the premier spot for Native American creatives, business owners, entrepreneurs to make our mark here in downtown. I myself am from Phoenix. I'm from these streets. So for them to choose me to design this sign meant the world to me. A lot of my friends and colleagues here in the city were proud as well, because that they chose somebody from Phoenix. A lot of these RFQs, if you're not familiar, it's called a request for qualifications. These RFQs, they usually get out of town people. A lot of the work that's in and around Phoenix and in Arizona, for that matter, are designed by people that are not from here. And the fact that they chose a native, like Native American artists to do this, it was a big deal for me. It was a big deal for us. It was a big deal for the city, big deal for my graffiti roots. I'm able to put something permanent that's going to be here to welcome people to the city. Now it's what I've been able to do by securing clients like this is I've been able to increase my rates. The financial stability of freelance creatives solely depends on their clients. And it is their ultimate goal to have clients keep coming back to them. As the supply of designers increases, having to increase rates may cause fear among creatives, as clients may look for other options. What I see is a lot of creatives, freelancers staying in a creative bubble. You don't want to close yourself off to happenings in, the creative industry, including updates in, market trends and especially rates. You have to pay attention to that kind of stuff. You have to ask, your colleagues, other artists, other designers. You got to stay in dialogue with people. You can't just stick yourself in a bubble. This goes out to vendors too. You got to ask, what are you charging for this? What are you charging for that? You have to figure out what the going rate is. Otherwise, you're going to be underpaying yourself, and you don't want to do that. A lot of the work that people put out takes a lot of time. Just checking the time, making sure I have enough of it. Okay. Now, freelance work, the key to freelance work is to collaborate. I use 3 examples right here. Cahokia, because collaboration is key here. A lot of our work is done organically. We literally used to, now we're all on Zoom, but we used to sit around a table and just think about ideas, put them on the whiteboard, and start brainstorming how we're going to accomplish these, wild ideas that we would come up with as a team. And it takes a team to make these ideas come to fruition. It's collaboration is what really sets you apart from, your competitors, if you have any. Collaboration makes your circle bigger. The more people you collaborate, the more access to other people with talents that you don't have. You can't do it all. Trust me, I've tried. It's impossible. It's impossible to try to do it all. You want to really hone in on one thing you're really, really good at, and stick at that, and then hire other people to do the stuff that you don't know how to do. Change Labs is the perfect example of empowerment is key. Empowering people is an integral part of being a freelance creative. You can't think about just the check. You have to think about what type of value are you bringing this person. Don't think about how much am I going to make off this job. You have to come into this with a mind that's more open and think about how can I help them create value for themselves. Because if you do a good job for them, it's the first thing that they're going to say is, oh yeah, we worked with Jeremy. He did an amazing job for us. Here's his information, get a hold of him, and empowering is key. And Change Labs has been a very big supporter of my work. That's why I'm here talking with y'all today. I've done a couple of events with them. I have nothing but gratitude for them. They're doing amazing work for Indian country, especially the Navajo and Hopi, nations. So empowering is good. It's vital. It's key. I bring up Native Art Market because opportunity is also key. Native Art Market has given opportunities to hundreds of artists from Arizona and abroad. They are the only Native-owned gallery in Old Town Scottsdale. Now they came under fire from during the Super Bowl from a racist Gilbert Ortega gallery. I'm not sure if he was the owner or if he was a manager or what, but they were really casting the spotlight, from that heinous racist display of just ignorance. Anyways, they've persevered from that. They have given so many people opportunities, including myself. The sign that you see back there, they hired me to design, fabricate, and install that. It was my first sign that I've ever designed and installed like that. And I didn't really know what I was doing, but I just, like all of us natives, we figure it out. We kind of have to. That's what we're really good at. So I, did a few designs, submitted them, they approved them, and I got a deposit, went out and bought the plywood and cut those letters out by hand, and then, painted them and installed them myself. I had some help, but it was my first sign that I ever did. And they've since this changed it to turquoise. It pops a lot better now. But they give me opportunities, I also painted the entire floor of their merchandising area. And, we did a trade-off, they didn't have a whole lot of startup capital. I told them, you know what, I'll do it for this amount. Just give me a whole year of membership fees waived. And they were like, cool. It's another stream of income that I get, with Native Art Market. I just come in there, a couple of times a month, drop off my merch, and they sell it for me. It's a great way to have people that are tourists coming into town and to buy your, whatever it is that you're creating. They give opportunity. So these are all examples of collaboration. And if you're a freelancer, collaboration is key. There are times, within creative communities that there's no drive within the community, and it's needed to empower, standard rates. So right now is the time for the creative community, the native creative community, to have frequent discussions on rates to empower creatives, which is why you guys are a part of this Change Labs event today, is to really talk about, collaboration and what it takes to, empower yourselves by, getting part of that market share. Okay, so I'm going to do a quick thing, a couple slides on marketing, and this is explained by Alan Dibb. He wrote a book called Success Wise, and these are shots that I am borrowing from Chris Dew, who I credited earlier. What is marketing? Now, if the circus is coming to town and you paint a sign, that's advertising. If you put the sign on the back of an elephant and walk it into town, that's promotion. Marketing, what is it exactly? If the elephant walks through the mayor's flower bed and the local newspaper writes a story about it, that's publicity. And if you get the mayor to laugh about it, that's public relations. Marketing, do you know what it is? If you show them the mini entertainment booths, explain how much fun they'll have, answer questions, that's sales. And if you plan the whole thing, that's marketing. Marketing is what you say it is. Branding is what they say it is. When enough people arrive at the same gut feeling, a company can be said to have a brand. And that's a quote by Marty Neumeier, The Brand Gap. I mean, that could be said for so many companies, just say it out loud. When enough people arrive at the same gut feeling, a company can be said to have a brand. That's the type of branding that you really want to strive to get at, where people just know it, like, oh yeah, I love that, I love that brand, it's why I wear these brands, Okay, let's move into product design. Product design is a fun part of this whole thing. This is why you get into branding and marketing, is because you obviously have a product that you want to market and advertise. My product that is so unique and has garnered me a lot of success are these Apple Watch bands. It's something that already exists. I just improved it a little bit. What you want to do with product design is you want to identify a need. It's just like inventing something. The best way to create a product is to find an existing one and improve it. Apple iWatch straps. I got an Apple iWatch for my birthday a couple of years back, and it comes with, well, it used to, it doesn't anymore, but it used to come with 2 sets of straps, a long one and a short one. I decided to do a test cut on one, or test engraving on one to see how it would come out. And I'm like, well, wow, that looks pretty cool, but it was all off center, And I'm like, I wonder how I could figure out to get this to be centered up, So I did some more research, I screwed around and tinkered around on other objects before I went and did it onto my, my one last band. And so once I was happy with the way it lined up, I went ahead and put my extra set in there, and lo and behold, boom, it just came through completely symmetrical and centered. Put my logo on there and everything, and I put it on Instagram that night. By the next day, I was getting orders. That's how fast you can create something and put it onto the market. Which is what I'm going to go into after our slides. I'll show you how you can do that very easily with very little money too. Now, product design, create a store. WordPress is out there. It's for people who are a little bit more savvy with HTML coding, etc. Shopify is a great product. They do require a monthly service fee, though. I think it's like $40, per month. So if you have the means, it's a great service. It's everything all in one. You get a website, a store, connects right to Instagram, and it's a great service. A lot of people use it. Square is another great product. I'm going to be talking more about Square because Square's one is it's free. Two, it's very easy to use, and three, they've sponsored me on multiple occasions. So I'd like to, give them some shine. PayPal, I've been using PayPal for 20 years. It's never failed me. Always been there. I love it. I'll always have my PayPal account. It's another great way to, create a store and create e-commerce. There's consignment, which is if you have product on hand that you want to put in a store, a retail store, a boutique, reach out to them, ask them if, they do consignment. Consignment is where you put your products in their store, doesn't cost anything, and they hold it, for like a month or so. And then they mark it up to whatever they want to sell it for. And then when it sells, they give you the money at the end of the month. Then that's retail. Wholesale is if you have a buyer, a store, a boutique. Not too many places do this anymore, but you still find a few places that will do wholesale. So let's say you have a t-shirt design that's really successful, and it's everywhere. It's all over the internet, and you want to get it into a store. A lot of stores will say, well, what's your wholesale pricing? Let's say your t-shirts market at $32 per t-shirt on your website. The retail boutique's going to tell you, well, we'll sell it for $36 in our store, and we will buy them from you at wholesale for $15 per shirt. So you're like, how am I? You're not going to be making a lot, but your product's going to be in a store, and store, retail location, brick and mortar retail locations bring you more visibility, more customers, which gives you more recognition, brand awareness. Instagram, it's very easy to use. You can connect it directly to your store for online sales. It's all trackable. You can view insights, see what your demographic is, the age, the race, the location. It's very, very powerful, and it's all free. Direct to consumer online sales. I use a program. It's called drop shipping, and a lot of companies use it nowadays. The one that I use is called Printful. And through Printful, you're able to design a variety of products, for home, for office, for, clothing. There's so much you can do. It's just the internet's inundated with the same stuff. So what I've been doing is I've been getting products. I'll buy samples. When I get the samples, I'll do a photo shoot in them, and then I'll post them on my site. So people can actually see what they look like in real life. You're able to style them and make them stand out more. And it's a great service for those that can afford it, because you have to have upfront capital to do so. And back in the background is a screenshot of my web store with some products that I've done for the original landlords. Mobile apps, all you need is a phone. If you don't have a phone, go get an Obama phone. I don't even know if they're called Obama phones anymore, but they got free phones out there, that you can go sign up for if you don't have anything. I started my business off, I started very small, when I got out of prison. You can accomplish a small business with very little. I started with an old iPad with no Wi-Fi. I was doing designs on the iPad, and I'd have to go to like Starbucks or whatever and upload everything, on the cloud. Be realistic, start with something that you're good at, and also knowledgeable in, find something that you're really, really good at, or something that if you're funny, use that. If you're smart, use that. If you have to find something that is really easy for you to do. And if it's easy for you to do and it's fun to do, you'll never work a day in your life. Trust me, it just becomes a thing that you just do. And next thing you know, you have several businesses and things just start rolling, and it's a great feeling. The background image for this phone is collateral that I was hired to do by the Phoenix Suns. They hired Cahokia. That was myself, Unique Yazi, and Paul Molina. We're all based here in the Valley, and we were hired to design all of the arena graphics. And we also did the brand identity for the Originative program. That is an amazing program, I have to say. If you're ever in the Valley and you get a chance to come check out an Originative basketball game, you have to. It is an incredible display of the 22 tribes of Arizona and how they've highlighted every single one of them. Pretty sure most of you on this call right now have probably seen and are familiar with this, and it is probably the most visible sign of how professional sports teams are working with Native Americans and what it's like to work with Native Americans. And we're very honored and proud to have been a part of this project. And it still trips me out when I see stuff like this, on the internet. I just never thought in a million years that I'd be doing anything like this, and here I am. So this is all stuff that you can do yourself. Okay, now if you want to get in touch with me, I'm available for in-depth coaching, brand strategy for serious entrepreneurs. I am conducting this meeting today at our office downtown Phoenix at Cahokia. We're located at 707 North 3rd Street, Suite 130 in Phoenix, Arizona. My email, jeremyarviso78@gmail.com. My website is www.arviso78.com. On Instagram, it's at Arviso78, and on Twitter is Arviso Design. But yeah, that is my presentation, y'all. Thank you so much. I really appreciate y'all for chiming in on this and staying with me. I know it's a lot to take in all at once, but it's worth it. Trust me, especially if this is something that you're interested in learning yourself. What I'd like to do now is just we got a half an hour. So I'm going to show you guys just how quick and easy it is to come up with a design and get it ready for the market, for the online market. And we're going to be using a couple tools, a phone. If you got a phone, one thing I'm going to go ahead and write on the board. Go to, see, okay, so squareup.com. I don't even know if you can see that, but squareup.com. You can create an account and you can do it on your phone. They've got a really great program where you can use the camera. You can you can take a photo of something and you can put it right on their website. Fairly simple. So let's say, I think I said get a piece of paper, a pen, or a marker. What we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to go from concept to prototype to store literally in the next 25 minutes. And I can show you guys just how quick you can get something on the market. Piece of paper. Okay, so let's say what's the brand identity? So how about if we're thinking of what we want to say, we're going to create a t-shirt today, or even if you don't have any experience doing logo design, you really don't need to. It's you can come up with a concept all on your own and then just figure it out on your own too. These are things that you can do for free. So what I've always done is I've always looked around to see what brands that I really dig, what logos I really like, and when I was first starting out drawing as a kid, I always drew heavy metal band logos and stuff like that. That's what I really gravitated towards, and that's what I still do today. And so a logo you can flip, you can change, you can do a lot of things with it. I'm just looking around the room right now to see what I can find to kind of copy, and then we can turn it into something. Oh, here we go. I got a Monster can. I'm just thinking about Monster, the energy drink, and what I can do is just kind of how about we just, so that the M, it's like an M. How about I flip it and make it a W instead? So I would just, just make a crude drawing. W, and then I'll just kind of like fill it in a little bit. So this would be your concept, your idea. And this is just by looking around the room really fast. Just fill it in. Doesn't got to be perfect at all. Because like I said, this is just your concept of what you're going to do and your idea. So it's a W. What am I going to do with the W? Name of the drink is called Monster Energy. I have a W now. What am I going to do with the W? How about I just do how about we, or maybe it's not a W, maybe it's a crown. So how about we just do crown, and then how about we just do like maybe we do no, I think that's cool like that. How about we just do a simple crown? And what we do next is we start to think about a crown. How are we going to turn this into a shirt or a logo? Okay, so what I want to do with this is turn this into a t-shirt. How I'm going to do that is I'm going to use printful and square. Okay, so what I'll do is I will take a photo of my image. Okay, I got my photo. So then what I'll do is I'll do it on, let me share my screen. Okay, I'll go into Printful. So this is the platform that I use. So Printful, this is a product, this is an online site that you can use to create multiple products that you can add to your store. You have to create a profile, and this is the dashboard, and these are all products that you can customize with your own images. I'll give you an example of what my orders look like. These are just all orders of, and there's 11 pages of orders, and this is all just this year. Just an example of one that's being fulfilled right now. These are some stuff that I've created for my new line. These are product templates right here, and these are all my templates. These are just designs that I literally just come up with just daily. Whenever I have time, whenever I'm, bored or whatever, and because I've got so many other things going on. So what I'll do is I'll create and more templates, and let's go into, let's just do a t-shirt. Okay, I've got the shirt that so what I do now is I'll take my phone, I'll take the photo that I took, the quick drawing, and I'm going to airdrop it to myself. It's right there. I'll take a shirt. We'll just go with this one. Choose a file, upload file. All right, upload new file. There it is. So that's our file that we just did. It's a quick drawing. New file, go to downloads, open. Oh, gotcha. Okay, so what I'll have to do is open Photoshop. And then I'll open my file. I just want to show you guys how easy and quick it is to get something going. So let's go ahead and crop this. Just Cute brand is a clothing company I did for kids. It's taking a hiatus. Cool, so then we'll go ahead and come over here. Upload file. It's going to render it. Apply. Okay, so now it's there. So then we can come over here and then we can choose a color of the embroidery that we want it to be. You know, we can go with gold, do orange, do blue. Now it's okay, cool. So blue looks cool to me. And it's gonna cost me $16.95 to $20.95 to make. So I'll go to continue. I'll dye it. I'll just do crooked. We'll just make it a K just to make it stand out. Crooked crown. And then save product template. Okay, now I have my template right here. And then I just add it to the store. Since my site's connected to my store already, I can select multiple colors of what I want this to look like. I can even select the sizes. Proceed to mockups. And I can choose how I want it to be shown. I can either have it flat, I can have it on a model. You know, you can just choose whatever you want. It just depends on how you want it. So once you have that done, you just go over here, proceed, you know, if you want to add a description, a product title, and then you go over here to pricing and you can choose how much you want to sell it for. here's the printful price, how much it costs for them to create this for you, and then you set the revenue. So let's say I'm going to go ahead and make these $32, 32, 32, 32, 32. So that you can see right here, I'll be making between $9 and $15 profit from every shirt. I'm not going to hit submit to store because I don't want this on my site. But what will happen is I'll hit submit, and then it will pop up. Pop up on my website. This is my front page. As my newsletter, if you guys want to. So this is my front page. I change it daily. I'm going to be battling this Friday for Art Battle Phoenix. It is an international paint competition where you get 3 rounds to paint for 20 minutes. And then the crowd judges it, and the people online watching judge it too. And then they find a winner. I won last time, so I'm battling for Phoenix. I'm pretty stoked about that. But yeah, there's just some of the projects that I've worked on. And go to shop. And these are all the products. So, you can just see how quick I did that. That was what, 20 minutes. I went from concept to product and on the site, ready to ship. This is something that you guys can do. I know I'm a little savvy, and that is a part of, like I said at the beginning of my presentation, I got 25 years in this game. I'm highly skilled at this. This is something that's taken me many years to do, but I just broke it down for you very, very quickly on just how easy this is to do, and anybody can do it. Of course, I've got tools that make it a lot easier for me, but this is all something that anybody can do, literally. So that's pretty much my presentation. I just wanted to show you guys exactly how easy it is for people to do this type of work. It's something that you can create a brand, a logo, but knowing the difference between marketing, advertising, promotion, branding, that's what we went through today. And what I've created with my brand is I've created a fan base. I have people who like my work, people who like the clothing that I design. They love the branding that I do for other companies. They love my paintings. I've just turned myself into a brand, and a brand that you can trust, a brand that you can stand by. One of the key aspects of that is building trust, building, a track record that is accountable, and being able to work with people is also very important. Being open-minded, being a team player, communication is definitely key. These are all skills that are acquired over, a while, so this is, of course, this isn't something you just jump into. You can, if you want to, and you can learn. And this day and age, people are churning out brands as fast as you see me just make that t-shirt. Anybody can do it, but longevity is something that differentiates, my brand from a lot of the brands that are out there, is that I've been around for a really long time. People know who I am. People have sought me out for my work and have, that's why I work for the Phoenix Suns. That's why I work for Nike. That's why I work for APS. I have some other clients that I really can't talk about just yet, but contracts are signed, and it's just, growing and growing. And very pleased for you guys for tuning in today. I really appreciate you guys, giving me an opportunity to share my work and my process. But that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. Any questions?
Yes, Jeremy, there are some questions in the chat. I can read them off for you.
Okay.
All right, so we have a few questions from Holly. Her first question is, how can the clients better prepare for design work? So say I'm a client and I'm approaching you to contract some type of design. How can clients better prepare themselves to make it a better interaction?
Oh, that's a great question. Research. You want to know, if you have a notepad, write this down. Who is your target audience? That's probably the hardest part, is figuring out who your target market is. For me, what I've done is I've looked at the insights that are available to me through Instagram, all the metadata. I also do a lot of vending, so I go to a lot of vending events. My demographic is 28 to 42-year-old Native Americans, men and women. The divide is right on the middle, like 48%, 52%. And that's who I know who my demographic is. However, I do have a lot of non-native that come and buy my work too. My tagline is Indigenous design for everyone, which has served me well because I'm able to cater to more than just, the native population. Doing your research is very important. Knowing who your target market is, your target audience, is very, very important. That should be your very first number one on your list. Find out who your demographic is. How old are they? Where do they live? How much money do they make? Where are they at? Are they online? Are they in stores? Are they rural? Are they in the city? Another thing that's important is that you want to know if how much do they make. These are all demographics that you can find out pretty easily. A lot of this can be done by going out and vending. Some people aren't good with face-to-face interactions with people. Work on it. Go out there and do it. It's a good way to communicate and get to know your customer. The more you go out, the more you vend, the more you start to figure out who your customer base is, and it'll help you out as you start to market and advertise to those people. I hope that answers your question. Next one.
Yes. And then another question from Holly is, what are the best practices to start discussing, especially non-free consultations with the graphic artists?
I would say, again, research. Do research. If there's someone that you have in mind that you want to work with, ask them, what's your rate? What is your process? You're not wasting anyone's time by asking questions. If someone's being real, all cheap about it and just kind of if they're giving you a bad attitude, don't work with them. That's one of the key things about this business too, is attitude is everything. If someone is giving you the big pushover, or they're just not, giving you the time of day, and they think they're too their ego is just way too big, don't work with them. You don't want to work with anybody like that, because it's going to be difficult. If someone's too expensive for you, there's a reason why. They're very sought after and they're very good at what they do. I always tell my clients who can't afford to work with me that I can refer you to somebody else. I have a fantastic network of artists and designers who would be perfect for this job. Let me pass their info to you. I believe there was a website that Raquel shared at the beginning of this called resrising.com. That's a great resource. I would start there and just start researching people and asking them questions and figuring out what type of rates people have, what their processes are. That's a great resource right there.
Great. Thank you. We have another question from Sahar. Her question is, how do you navigate the Indian discount request tactfully?
Well, the Indian discount, I really don't do anymore, just because I see everyone the same. The only time I really do any type of Indian discounts is at a vending event. I really don't do, as far as design's concerned, any discounts. I do bartering and trade, though. That's something that I like to do with other Indigenous entrepreneurs. Is, if you're a PR specialist, help me write out a press release, and I can do some branding work for you. If you're a videographer, help me do a video and I will help you, figure out your branding strategy. If someone's a photographer, help me with this photo shoot, my fashion show, I'll hook you up with the logo, so that type of stuff I'm open to. But it's definitely one of those things in native country that you always run into. You have to know your value. Remember that, know your value and stick to it. Once you set your bar at a certain level, you can't go down anymore. And you have to make that apparent with Indian country. And once you establish yourself as a brand, people will know the deal. And they'll know not to ask you for anything like that. At a certain point, it just becomes a little bit. I don't want to say insulting, but it's they should know better. And if they don't, then just kindly inform them. It's like I said before. I'm definitely a little too busy to take on this, but I have someone perfect for this job. Let me give you their contact information. So that's a great way of sharing the wealth of, if somebody's budget's not within your constraints, you could always, share that to somebody else.
Thank you. Did anyone else have any other questions for Jeremy?
Hi, I loved your whole entire presentation. It was amazing. I just want to see more into the consultation side of it all. Do you, as a person who does a lot of probably consultations with people, do you like to set a timer for yourself and then you essentially kind of conclude it and then you have another follow-up consultation? Because I know a lot of those can go a long time where you're talking with a person and an hour can go by so quickly or 30 minutes can go by so quickly. And so is it best to kind of keep yourself on track and really kind of end the conversation even though you're right in the middle of something?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. That's time is money, and in this business, it's time is a very big factor with everything. You saw how quick I was able to take that, concept from a drawing on the wall to, brought it into Photoshop, turned it into art, and then made it a product, and it was on my store. That took 30 years of knowledge for me to be able to do that. That's what I call value. A lot of people will say, well, I'm not going to pay you, $500. It just took you 20 minutes to do that. I'm like, you're not paying me for my time. You're paying me for my experience and my value.
Yeah.
Let's see you do that. You can't. That's why you come to me. So I only do 30-minute consultations. Anything more than that, I charge. But a 30-minute consultation is what I will do as a courtesy. Anything more than that, I have to charge. So for an hour, it's usually $100 if you want to do a consultation, but I'll do 15 to 30 minutes in person. But a lot of times I'll just do a 30-minute Zoom call because it's time and Zoom will cut it off for you.
Yeah, great. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Thank you. Any other questions for Jeremy right now? Okay. Thank you, Jeremy, for your presentation. I really appreciated your perspective. From being a graphic artist, a native entrepreneur, all of your many titles. I'm really, really appreciative of your time and thank you for being here. I know one of our original discussions was to highlight from the entrepreneur, the graphic artist perspective, what it is to work with a graphic artist. Like you're saying, just because you drafted something in 20 minutes doesn't mean that just anyone can draft that work in 20 minutes. And nobody wants to work for free. That's the main point of being an entrepreneur and small business owner. And that's what we're all here to learn. And thank you for a lot of the content in your presentation. A lot of our cohort members are here with us online from the incubator, and they're being taught on the business model campus. And I really appreciate it's a lot of the words that you put in there, like knowing your value. That's the value proposition. So if you're a cohort member and you're struggling with the business model canvas currently, I would go back and watch this video again because Jeremy highlights a lot of his business, directly indicating points that are in each part of the business model canvas, which structures his business and how he operates and highlights his process. So I really appreciate that insight, Jeremy.
Oh yeah, I I was really wanting to show real world examples instead of just kind of making stuff up. These are actual clients and actual jobs. So I was able to show you exactly how I navigated them and why that was, why it was navigated that way. And just to give you guys that real world experience of how this comes from, an idea to, boom, big project. It's possible. Anything's possible. I encourage all of you to push the limits with whatever it is you guys are doing, entrepreneurial, and I think that each one of you guys are capable of doing great things, in your communities. So, yeah, man, it's eventually you start to get to a point where nothing really seems like work. I had an old mentor years ago tell me, find something that you love to do and you'll never work a day in your life. And I think it's true.
All right, thank you. Thank you, everyone else, our audience members, everyone from Change Labs being here today. We have Cecilia, we have Holly, we have Kim, we had Christine. She might have dropped off earlier, but thank you all for being here as well. And all of our cohort members and the rest of our audience, especially Jennifer from Hawaii. That's really exciting. So if anyone has any questions about my presentation earlier, I will have this video up on Zoom, Change Labs Zoom, not Zoom, YouTube channel very, very soon. And if you missed any part of Jeremy's presentation, or if you want to rewatch it and share it with anybody you know who you think might benefit from it really, really greatly. I know that Jeremy provided a lot of really great information, and especially something that you can put into action like right now, which is really, really helpful. And I really enjoyed that part. I was teasing Jeremy earlier that I might go ahead and do that to raise money for my upcoming trip. But thank you, everyone, for being here.
Yeah, thank you all. I hope you guys got something out of it, and you put it to work. This is all knowledge that I've gotten from people that I follow and mentors that I have, and it's something that I want to share as well. So thank you guys all. Have a great day.
All right, we'll see you all next time. Have a good one. Be safe.